Hey girlies, it's Augusta. If you want the perfect makeup look this fall, it's super easy, quick, but it's gonna have people being like, how did you do your makeup so well and seasonally? This is your tutorial. One of the keys to flawless makeup is definitely in the foundation and skin prep. So make sure that your skin is nicely hydrated and moisturized before you even think about going in with the makeup. In order to make sure that my skin is moisturized to the max and brightened as well, I'm taking this Medicube Vitamin C serum, placing it on the back of my hand because as you can see there's some yellow balls within the jelly texture and you're meant to mix these together before applying it to my face with this little spatula, but you can use any hydrating moisturizer, primer, whatever you feel like makes your skin look glowy and even toned. I would recommend vitamin C skincare if you have any for the morning, if you want to look extra glowy, because that's what's going to brighten up your face the most. Never forget to bring it down onto your neck as well. It's not always possible if you're in a rush, but try to leave the skincare to settle in for a couple minutes so that it's really absorbed into the skin and doesn't mix with the makeup that we're going to put on. For reference, this is the Medicube Deep Vitamin C Capsule Cream, but I'm going to have all the products I mentioned linked below, so don't worry about that. I also recommend the Bioma Moisturizer if you do not have a moisturizer or you're looking for a good, affordable, clean beauty product. And like, how cute is that packaging? If you don't have any of those products, you can also just spray a little bit of setting spray as a base. This is such a good hack because you can basically use it as a primer as well as a set so that the makeup really grips to it. For fall, we're channeling soft, glam, warm tones, cinnamon, spices, pumpkin spice, all of that kind of vibe. We don't want to go too full beat, but we're going to go for a soft glam overall vibe. Something that you could still wear every day, or you could wear it in the evening. It's very versatile. That's why the e.l.f. Halo Glow is perfect for this, because it's in between a foundation and a tinted moisturizer. So you can either use your favorite tinted moisturizer or light coverage foundation, but I would recommend this product. Fall is all like brown, burgundy, maroon, orange, red kind of colors. We're gonna wanna bronze up this look quite a lot. So I'm starting with my bronzing drops. These are the e.l.f. ones, but W7 and Drunk Elephant also do some really good alternatives. Next up, make sure that you've slightly dampened your beauty blender, and then you're just going to want to blend these two products together. Since they're both e.l.f., they blend even more seamlessly. As you can see, it's giving coverage and bronze, but not too much on my skin. You can still see my natural pigment peeking through, but it's definitely evening out my skin tone, especially around this blemish area here that I have going on. Going over the eyelids gently with the excess from the beauty blender. You don't want to put too heavy of a layer so it doesn't crease. So make sure that you blend this product thoroughly down onto the sides and bottom of the neck and chin. I feel like my skin already looks 10 times more healthy and glowy, but it looks like it's my natural skin, and it's a very skin-like base, which is what I love about this base combo. Make sure you're blending it in fully. The more you blend, I always say, the more professional and seamless your makeup is gonna look. Next up, take your go-to concealer. It doesn't matter that much about the concealer on this look. It just matters that you have one that you know works for your skin. But if you're looking for one, I highly recommend the NARS Pot Concealer. I can say it's definitely worth the price. It can literally cover tattoos, but it looks skin-like, so I think it blends super nicely with the skin-like natural kind of base that we're going for. Basically, you want it to make it look like it's your natural skin, but better. You can apply it in a line under the eye and up at the side. This is going to really lift your eye for when we do that brown winged eyeliner later on. Let your concealer get tacky for a minute. It wouldn't be a full makeup look without a liquid bronzer, of course, and the Rare Beauty is such a classic. A soft pinch liquid contour, and as you can see, I'm applying a couple dots just below where I would highlight my cheekbones. That way it's going to elevate my face rather than drag it down. One thing that can be a problem with contour is that people will apply it in the indent of their cheekbone, but that's actually going to drag your face down, especially when we blend it. it's going to go down, and you always want to lift and go up and outward to make you look as naturally snatched as possible. Taking the other side of the brush that I used for the concealer, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Complexion brush, and I always use it for all my cream products. It's super versatile, and I use the small end for my concealer and the large end for my liquid contour and blush and highlight, and so it all kind of just blends together very nicely. As you can see, I'm blending not in too big motions, trying to keep the product very similar to the area where we placed it, but blending it enough that it's obviously not got any harsh lines or visible residue. Only when I blend downward is on the neck, because I don't want to blend the darkness upwards, since we want to keep this bit light so we get the contour effect on the cheek. I will say that this liquid contour is very pigmented, so definitely less is more if you're using the same one as me. And you can always touch it up after when we go in with powder bronzer. Now that the concealer has set, I'm gently tapping this in after the contour, and this is just going to help make it look even more chiseled, especially on the eyeline. You want to really keep that upwards lift so you can almost see the line where we applied it. And you can see how my eye looks naturally dragged up. It's very subtle, but it does definitely make a difference. I feel like my eyes look way more open than they would if I had done my concealer downwards. For blush, I'm definitely going in with a more burgundy blush shade. It's almost like a bronzing kind of shade. This is the Armani Beauty liquid blush, and I'm applying a little bit here. We don't want to make the blush the center of the look, since we want the bronzer to be the center of this look. I feel like if it was a spring makeup look, I'd definitely focus less on the bronzer and more on the blush, but this is the alternative. And just to give my face a little bit more glow and contrast, I'm going to apply a little dot of my Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Luminizer. This is a liquid highlighter on the Cupid's bow. I do it on the bridge and the tip of the nose and the cheekbones. Then I'm going to apply a little bit of the excess on my eyelid, kind of as an eyeshadow, since I don't want to go in with loads of shimmery shades. I feel like this is more natural since we'll blend it out. I'm literally just blending this with the same brush. I applied the bronzer just there, and I'm blending the blush and highlighter together just above, and it's got a nice red burgundy hue. It's really adding that kind of warmth and spice into the face that we're going for this full makeup look. Lightly blending over the eyelids. This is just going to give me a nice shimmer, and also some of the residue from the blush will also give some nice depth and warmer, darker tones. Once I've done my cream products, I like to go in and set them all before moving on to powder. This is going to make your makeup last a lot longer. I definitely applied quite a lot of cream products, so we really need to make sure they're set in place well. Before you go in with your setting powder under the eyes, make sure that you re-blend out the concealer just under your eyes in case it's creased already, since creasing can happen very quickly. This is the Givenchy Prism Libre 4 Color Loose Translucent Setting Powder, and I honestly love it because it looks so natural but also has a bit of sparkle since it has all 4 colours mixed together. I'm baking a line here just as we did with the concealer, basically applying it exactly where I concealed, and then the excess right here where I get a little bit oily, dragging it down to the smile line. You definitely want to make sure that area is nice and powdered. Then powdering the lips. This is going to make the lip combo stay on much longer, which we will do later. Lip combo is actually one of my favorite parts of this look, so stay tuned for that at the end, or you can skip to it now if that's just what you're going for. Tapping the excess so my forehead doesn't look too oily, since the Halo Glow is very glowy. I do like a good glow, but sometimes it's a bit too much in the T-zone area. The eyelids, this is going to stop the mascara from smudging on the eyelids and stop the liquid highlighter from creasing in the eyelids too. The next step is bronzer, of course, a very key step in this full makeup look. I used to be such a big fan of the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, but then I went on holiday, so I wanted to bring a small one, and I actually bought this mini one, the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and I feel like it's a lot more pigmented. So for this full makeup look, I would recommend using this one since it's a lot more pigmented, whereas the Charlotte Tilbury one is more for like a light bronzy dust. And I do like a pigmented bronzer. Apply this on the forehead, out in sweeping motions, making sure you're blending everything into your hairline, but trying not to get too much on your actual hair. Upwards on the cheeks, making sure not to apply it below the ear. Honestly, you want to keep it above the ear, above the middle of the ear at least, depending on your face shape. And then I just dust it down like this, just to make sure everything's blended down onto the neck. Next up, I'm just taking a regular double-sided eyeshadow brush. This one's from my Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, but you can just use any one, honestly. And I'm just taking a little bit of bronzer without smudging the powder. So along the line of the powder, and then in the crease of the eyes, you can see. And then it's going out in an outwards triangle. You can see this eye looks so much more snatched and in depth than this eye. And that is the effect of this concealing and contouring process. Again, just bringing it out to the side very naturally, but it's more just for the shadow rather than the pigment. Then I'm taking the thinner side with quite a lot of product on this brush and contouring the nose. This is going to give you a button nose effect, that kind of look that everyone's going for at the moment, where, you know, those TikTok filters where you look like you have like a crazy button nose. That's what this is going to give you. And sometimes you can see the residue, but I actually don't mind that. I kind of like it because usually people don't realize it's makeup if you blend it enough. And then you can blend up into the eyebrows, and this is going to make it look, your whole nose, look a lot slimmer. Finally, taking a little bit of shadow, really lightly, not too low down under the eye, just to give a bit of depth. And as you can see, again, this eye, so much more depth than that eye. Therefore, you can slowly build this up and then drag out to the side. Bronzer is so pigmented, sometimes it gets a little patchy, so just taking a big fluffy brush. All the brushes I'm using are actually, for my face, are Real Techniques. They're so good, and I've just used them forever, so just making sure everything, taking a step back and blending out. That's always good to do at any stage in your makeup process. So now for the fun part, liquid eyeliner. Now, if you're not a huge liquid eyeliner girly, do not let this part scare you. Honestly, I really recommend this eyeliner, one, because it's brown, and two, because it's really easy to use, like any pen, honestly, but this is not too pigmented. You don't want one that's like so pigmented that it's just gonna like blot on your face. You can use the side of the powder as a guideline. That's why it's super helpful. And also, I always make sure to line the eyeliner in line with the bottom of the eye like that, and the tip of the eyebrow. So that's a good life hack, but I have a whole tutorial on exactly how to do snatch liquid eyeliner, which I'll link below on my channel, so definitely check those out, as well as like all my other makeup tutorials and vlogs. I'm just slowly building it up, like just a little bit at a time. And it's just a tiny little wing, like an extension of my eye. That's what you want. It almost looks like an eyelash when I have all my mascara on. Lightly blend it onto the eyelid, so it's connected to the eye and it doesn't just look like a triangle. Another hack is to take a Q-tip, and then if you made any messes, you can just go like that, and it almost makes it look more snatched, like when you smudge it out. I'm happy with that so far. Honestly, I feel like if you are too much of a perfectionist about your eyeliner, it's just never going to be good. Sometimes it's best to leave it. Now for eyebrows, I am going to actually add a little bit of structuring to my eyebrows using this Maybelline Express Brow Pencil by drawing a little underline in the center like that. Super subtle, just to give my eyes more definition. Filling in a little bit of the gaps as if they were hairs, like with stroking motions. And always you want to fill in the arch if you're filling in your eyebrows, because you want your eyebrows to look nice and arched. It's more about shaping them than making them look more thick. It depends on your type of eyebrows. If you have super thick eyebrows, you might want to skip the step and just go straight to the brow gel, or you might want to fill them in a bit more if you have super blonde eyebrows. I'm quite lucky that mine are in between, so I can just fill them in if I like, but I don't necessarily need to. And you can always brush the product through with a little spoolie just to make it look more even and natural. And I feel like I just look like I have more shaping to my face rather than accentuating the eyebrows loads like 2016 makeup. Taking the NYX brow glue now and brushing the eyebrows up in the middle and then out to the side in a diagonal. and then just flattening down any bits that need flattening. I don't cut my eyebrows, but some people do, so they just brush them straight up. Depends on your shape, of course. If you have eyebrows like me, I highly recommend using the same technique. There you go, easy brows in 2 minutes. I'm gonna keep the blush rather light for this look since the focus is the bronzer. I'm just taking a small amount of this kind of deeper reddy pink blush from Hourglass. This is their ambient blush in Luminous Flush. Just lightly dragging it over my cheekbone to give a slight pink hue so I don't look too contrasted, especially since I'm a bit on the paler side. I need a little bit more colour to my face. I also love to take a little bit on the fourth finger of my hand and add a little bit here so I look a little bit sun-kissed. I know it's not summer, but it just adds a little bit of dimension. It kind of makes you look more snatched. Highlighter we are definitely using in this look. This is my favourite bougie highlighter. It's the Prada Beauty Light Highlighter in shade Pink. Yeah, I think they have 2 shades. This is the pink shade. And I'm sweeping this exactly where I applied the blush. You can see that glow is super natural. It doesn't look like I'm wearing highlighter, but you can see the effect of the highlighter, which is exactly what you want on your cheeks. I'm taking a small eyeshadow brush, exactly like the one I used for the nose contour and under eye shadow, just to touch up the places we applied the Rare Beauty liquid highlighter. Always make sure you highlight your inner corner of the eye going in an upwards way. This is definitely important whatever the makeup look, because you always want your eyes to pop and look more open. This is also going to contrast nicely with the eyeliner and really brighten up the eyes. And applying a tiny bit under the brows just to highlight those arches again. If your collarbones are on show, you definitely want to be applying some highlighter to your collarbones. Not only is this going to make you look super glowy and put together, it's also going to make your face makeup match your body way better, so it will look way more professional and natural actually. So I like to put a bit on the shoulder and then collarbone. You even go one step further and add a whole body shimmer glow oil, depending on if you're going out in the evening or daytime. Brush away any excess powder. Most of it's probably sank in by now, but if you have any excess, you definitely want to brush that away, as well as just kind of blending the whole bronzer and highlighter, all the powder products together anywhere you feel like needs an extra blend. Depending on if you are wearing this look in the day or night, you might choose to line your waterline as well. I'm actually wearing this for the day, but I want to connect the eyeliner to the waterline. This is going to make your makeup look way more cohesive, so I'm only lining the outer third with a brown eyeliner pencil. However, if I was wearing this at night, I'd probably line my whole top waterline and maybe the bottom one too. If you do line both, it definitely gives a more fierce look and less soft. So if you want to keep it nice and natural, line the outside and it's going to make your eyes look bigger and more fox eye, like open to the side, which is definitely the look that I think looks really good, especially in fall. Now we can't forget to curl those lashes, of course. You can choose to do this before you do the eye makeup, but I want to do it now so that the lashes are as curled as physically possible. The trick with this look is to curl your lashes as much as you can so that they are super lifted and lengthened. We don't want kind of a clumpy lash, especially since the eyeliner is brown. We are using a brown mascara today. If you're on the trends, you know that this is all the rage, the Rimmel London Thrill Seeker mascara. They actually call it shade Cappuccino. It's honestly my favorite mascara at the moment, because I was always like, oh, I feel like a black mascara looks so much better. Like, why would you have a brown mascara, especially since my eyelashes are already brown? But honestly, I feel like it looks so much better, especially on light eyes, because the red undertones in the brown actually make your eyes pop more. This is also going to really pair well with the red undertones in the blush and the brown from the bronzer and everything that we've done, and also the brown lip combo that's coming up. I recommend brushing the lashes slightly out to the side and then coating the opposite side as well, but super wispily. We don't want to apply a super thick layer. We want them to look nice and natural and wispy, like natural lashes, almost as if you weren't wearing mascara. Now for the lip combo that I've been guessing up this whole time. Of course it's going to be a brown undertoned lip combo that's slightly nude. So I'm going in with the Rimmel London Long Lasting Lip Liner, actually in shade Cappuccino as well, funnily enough. And first lining the lips, only slightly overlining the bottom lip, but not that much. And I'm using my signature lip combo technique. I literally just uploaded a whole in-depth tutorial about how to do the perfect lip combo, and honestly, it's life-changing, so go watch that, and it's going to be linked below as well, of course. I've overlined the Cupid's bow and then lined the sides of my lips naturally. Then I'm going in the center with the Prada Beauty Matte Lipstick. This is my favorite lipstick. I use it pretty much every lip combo I do. This is shade Beige B108. I'm just applying a little dab in the middle because we don't want a pink lip combo since this is very pink. We just want to lighten up the center. Now you can leave it here, especially if you want a matte lip that's more long lasting. I feel like matte lips are very popular in fall, so you could definitely leave it here, and I love how this looks. Or if you want to gloss it up, maybe for the evening, I recommend the Rare Beauty lip gloss in shade Spark. I think their lip glosses are new, and this is such a pretty like shimmery, browny, mauvey shade, so it's perfect for fall. So I'm gonna add just a light layer. I'm just using it as a blender rather than for the gloss. It just added a little shine, but you can definitely add more if that's your preference. Final step, gotta set it all in place. Rare Beauty 4-in-1 Optimizing Mist. There you have it, the full fall 2025 makeup tutorial. This look is timeless. I don't think you could really go wrong with it. You could probably wear it all year round, but it's just so fun, like a little bit more jazzy than just a clean girl or just neutral makeup tutorial. It's got those brown undertones that really bring out the warmth. I just love it. I'm obsessed. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I love all my subscribers and it really means the world to me. I also post daily YouTube shorts and TikToks and everything, so you can check all that out. I've got everything for you down there. Let me know what makeup looks or vlogs or hauls you would like to see next. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!